see the screen, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So have you understood so far, this particular methods, P1 persistent method, then what I mean to say non-persistent method and P persistent method. So every time it will check whether R is less than P. So if R is less than P, you got the idea. So here you have seen, if R is less than equal to P, station can transmit the data. Otherwise, it has to wait for next slot kind of thing. Now we have some mechanism called as CSMA, does not specify the procedure to be followed when a collision occurs, CSMA. So there came a new protocol called as carrier sense multiple access with collision detection. So CSMA was there, it was extended, a new extension was collision was detected. So CSMA was not meant for detecting the collision. If collision occurs, what is to be done, it was not knowing. So in that scenario, this concept of collision detection was, you got the idea, was added to it. So in this station, in this particular method, a station monitors the medium. You got the idea. After it sends a frame and see if the transmission is successful. If the transmission is successfully, I mean to say frame successfully reaches the destination, then there is no problem. But if a collision occurs, then frame has to be resent. Frame has to be resent. So this is the method. So to better understand CSMA CD, uh, let us look at the first bit transmitted by the two stations involved in collision. So you can see here at time t1, A started sending the what I meant to say frame A at time t1. You got the idea? And this was the slot. This was the time slot at which A started sending the first bit. Am I clear over here? And at the same time, at time t4, you can see here this particular, t2, at time t2, slot 2, C started sending its bit in this direction as well as in this direction. So you can see here the first bit sent from C at time t2, and first bit that was sent from what I meant to say station A at time t1, they collide here. You got the idea? They collide here. And how the collision will be known to C when this collided bit of station A reaches station C at this particular time. At this particular time, say T3. At this particular time, station C will come to know collision has occurred. And when the collided bit, collision actually occurred here, but the collision collided bit of frame C reaches the station A at this time T4. You can see here at time T4, because C started sending its frame in this direction as well as this direction. So when in slot 1, frame was transmitted by station A, and in slot 3, I can say at time T2, time slot T2, C started sending frame in this direction as well as in this direction. So the first bit which was coming in this direction meets the first bit of C in this direction, collision occurs. But immediately the two stations will not know about the collision. When collision will know, when the, you got the idea, first bit of A collides with first bit of C, voltage level changes. Whenever collision occurs, say one is indicating 11 volts, it may become 23 volts, it may become 35 volt, depends. So when that collided bit from station A comes here at time T3, you can see at time T3, station C will detect that yes, a high voltage is present on the medium, and hence collision has occurred. Not the idea. Whereas C's collided bit, C's bit which has been collided with the first bit of A, takes time to reach the station A, and here A detects high voltage at time T4. So at time t4, this is the time at which A will come to know about the collision. So this is how the collision is taken. So here I am taking this one, the explanation only. So here, this is where the collision occurs. This is the transmission time of C. So T3 minus T2, and here T4 minus T1 is the transmission time of A, and A detects the collision here, C detects the collision here. Collision actually occurred at this particular time, right? So what is the vulnerable time? Now question arises, what is the vulnerable time? So the frame transmission time, if I take TFR, should be at least 2 times the maximum propagation time. So TFR, frame transmission time, should be 2 times propagation time. The worst case scenario is something like this. Worst case scenario is something like this. If two stations are involved in collision, are at the maximum distance apart. That means the two stations are at a very far distance apart. So signal from first station takes time TP to reach the second, and the effect of collision takes another time TP to reach the first station, to for the first station to know that collision has occurred. So the requirement for the first station, to stop its transmission is that twice of transmission time TP it has to wait. So network using CSMA CD has a bandwidth of 10 Mbps. This is what has been given. So a network which is using, CSMA, carrier sense multiple access with collision detection, has a bandwidth of 10 Mbps. And if the maximum propagation time, you got the idea, is 25.6 microsecond, 25.6 microsecond. What is the size of the frame? Then what is the size of the frame? So minimum frame transmission time, that means for transmitting one frame, it is TFR is calculated as twice of propagation time. So since twice of propagation time means 2 into 25.6, because maximum propagation time is given to be, that means maximum propagation time means time taken by a frame from a station to another station which are far distant apart. Far distance apart means I can say here, if this is a station and this is a station, you got the idea, and another station is located here and another distance station is located here. So these are the stations which are far distance apart. So which are far distance apart. Am I clear over here? So my TP will be maximum TP. I'll be considering this maximum TP will be something like this. You got the idea? So my TP will be, something like this. So here I can say, oh, sorry. So I can say here, when if I take, so this is TP. You got the idea? This whole distance, I take maximum TP. You got the idea? This whole thing, I take it as maximum TP, transmission time. So I take it to be T frame time. Time required by a frame to reach the destination is twice of TP I'll take. So since TP is given to be 25.6 milliseconds, so T frame, you got the idea, T frame will be equal to TFR. TFR will be equal to, what I'll be getting is 2 into, you got the idea, 2 into how much? 25.6. So this is nothing but 25.6. 5.6. 25.6. So this is the point 25.6. So I'll be getting 51.2. So time for a frame to reach the destination will be 51.2 microsecond. So worst case needs 51.2 microsecond to detect the collision. The minimum size of the frame is, you got the idea, 10 Mbps into 51.2 microseconds. So I'll be getting 500 12 bits or 64 bytes. This is if I divide by 8, 512 divided by 8, I'll be getting 64, right? So this is actually minimum size of the frame for standard Ethernet. Minimum size of the frame for standard Ethernet. So this is what is there. So have you understood this scenario? CSMA CD, this was asked for 4 marks actually. What is the minimum size of frame? So minimum size of the frame, we have calculated it as 64 bytes. Have you understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Now this is the CSMA CD flowchart, and CSMA CD, and between CSMA CD and CSMA CA, there is another method called as carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance. One of the methods will always be asked. You know, CSMA CD and CSMA CA. One method for 10 marks will be asked. So CSMA CD, whatever I have explained so far, along with this particular what I meant to say flowchart, will fetch you 10 marks. So here, station has a frame to send. So initially, I'll initialize k is equal to 1. K is nothing but a random value through which, so k's maximum value is equal to 15. That means how many, k is nothing but how many times a station is allowed to make an attempt. How many maximum times k is allowed to make an attempt. So k generally is maximum value of k is 15 and minimum value is 0. So I'm starting with 0. Apply one of the persistence method, that is one persistent method or non-persistent method or p persistence method, and I'll check here transmission is over or collision has been detected. So transmission done, no, false. False means no. So transmit the frame again and receive the acknowledgement. So from the station, if what I meant to say it is true, means transmission is done. So true, it comes over here and checks whether collision is detected. If collision is detected, is true, collision detected is true, send a jamming signal. That means it will back off. So k is equal to k plus 1 and check whether it is maximum value of k has been, maximum value of k has been achieved. Create a random number r and generate a random number. Instead of create random number r, it should be generate a random number r and wait for that many seconds. Wait for backoff time, wait for backup time, and again apply that persistent method, one persistent or p persistent or non-persistent method. The method continues. Okay. So what is the difference between what is the difference between CSMA and Aloha? So the very first difference between Aloha and CSMA is nothing but persistence process. So this you have seen in CSMA, CD or CSMA, we have seen that one persistence or P persistence or non-persistence is followed. Whereas in Aloha, this was not being followed. You got the idea? Second difference between Aloha and what I am to say CSMA CD is nothing but in Aloha, entire frame is first transmitted and then wait for acknowledgement. You got the idea? So in CSMA CD, transmission and collision detection are continuous process. That means I go on sending bit by bit. I'll go on sending bit by bit, and collision detection and transmission is a continuous process. So station transmits and receive continuously and simultaneously. So this is what is done in second. That is the second difference. The third difference is nothing but sending of a short jamming signal to make sure that all stations become aware of the collision. The moment collision is detected, the collision is detected, nothing was being done in Aloha. Simply, it will send the packet after, packet after some time, after waiting for some time, it will send the packet in Aloha. But here, it is not like that. Jamming signal means no other station at that time during the jamming signal time should send the packet, because the moment already collision has occurred between the first bits of station A and station C, assuming that. So they will inform, the system will inform that already some bits have collided, and jamming signal is sent to all other stations which are willing to transmit their packet in next slot. So they are warned that do not send the packet now, because already some collision has occurred. So every station is made aware that collision has occurred, and please do not send the packets now, right? Now we will see the energy levels, like what is the energy level when collision occurs. So here, generally three levels of energies are there. One is called zero level, normal level, abnormal level. Now, this is the frame transmission. So if this is the voltage, frame transmission time, this is the voltage. Say I am sending, the maximum voltage of sending is, say, here 11 volts. Means Z1 is being represented by 11 volts, and 0 is being represented by, say, 5 volts. You got the idea. Another frame is there, it is also the same thing, say 5 volts and 11 volts. When this frame and this frame collide, you can see here voltage levels for this frame becomes say 23, and for this frame it becomes say 24 or 25. So this is what is nothing but energy levels, and this is how the station will come to know that collision has occurred. So since the maximum voltage possible for this particular frame was 11 volts, maximum voltage possible for this particular frame was 11 volts. But when the frames collided with each other, they created a voltage level of abnormal voltage level, which was what I meant to say 23 volts. So a station, sending station, comes to know that yes, collision has occurred because of increased voltage, So next is throughput of CSMA CD generally. So how many frames are sent, and out of that how many are received by the destination station. So throughput of CSMA CD is far more greater than pure or slotted aloha. This is there. So in one persistent method, you got the idea, maximum throughput expected is around 50%, because we have seen in slotted aloha. See, pure aloha, the percentage of maximum percentage in pure aloha. So pure aloha I represent by PA. Pure aloha I represent by PA. So the maximum percentage was 18.6 percentage. That you got the idea, 18.6%. That means 186 frames per 1000 frames will reach the destination. This is pure aloha. Now we have slotted aloha. Slotted aloha, we have seen that here the percentage of frames that will reach the destination was somewhere 36 point, say 5, somewhere around 36.5. That means 365 frames out of 1000 frames will reach the destination, So it is double actually. You can see here it was 18.6% and it is 36.5%. So slotted aloha is almost double throughput. But CSMA CD, now throughput of CSMA CD is far more. CSMA, you got the idea? CSMA CD, you got the idea? It is roughly equal to 50%. 50% minimum. So this is what is the difference between, So here, one persistent method with the maximum throughput is calculated as 50%. And for non-persistent method, throughput is almost 90%, and when the value of G is between 3 and 8. Value of G is between 3 and 8. That means how many frames are transmitting, say 3000 frame per second or 8000, 3000 to 8000 frame per seconds are sent when G is equal to 3 to 8, when 90% of the frames will reach the destination. You got the idea? So this is what, is the thing that you should understand. This is what should be understood very clearly. Okay. So have you understood the throughput point, everyone, that how much will be the throughput for pure Aloha, slotted Aloha, and CSMA CD? So we can see there is a marked difference between the throughput, and which is very high in case of CSMA, this thing. Now we have something called as carrier sense, what I meant to say, multiple access with collision avoidance. Now this particular method tries to avoid the collision itself, Okay. And so here, uh, we have three, four concepts, new concepts that will come into picture. One is called, one is called interframe space. Now in CSMA CD, there still was, so this CSMA CD instead of CA, we had CD, assuming that we had CD. So this CSMA CD, still what I meant to say, some collision was there, and throughput, though it was reaching maximum 90%, but 10% of the packets are still lost. So can I have better mechanism to make maximum number of packets that were sent by the sender to reach the destination? So I introduced the terms, three terms: interframe space, then request to send. This is RTS, is nothing but request to send, and CTS stands for clear to send. Now let us try understanding what is interframe space, what is request to send, and what is clear to send. CLEAR, clear, request to send and clear to send. So let me go for this. So here, if in this diagram, K is the number of attempts, maximum number of attempts allocated. So say 15, and TB is the back off time. IFS interframe space. Now interframe space is nothing but between a frame and next frame there will be a space. You got the idea? So I cannot send in that particular when right, during that time. So request to send, RTS is request to send and clear to send. Now what happens when K is equal to 0? If the channel is free, it comes here. Now wait for interframe space. This is the minimum amount of time, which is wait time, minimum amount of wait time, which has to be maintained when one frame is sent and between another frame, time for sending another frame. So this is the time, minimum amount of time that should be waited for by a station before sending the frame. So here we are to avoid the collision, we are ensuring that frame once transmitted will have to reach the destination. So there will be no other frame sent by another station. You got the idea? Till the frame sent by a station reaches the destination. So wait for interframe space. So for that, what we'll be doing is choose a random number r between 0 and 2k to the power 2 to the power k minus 1. So since k is equal to 0, so it will be 2 to the power 0 minus 1. So 1 minus 1, 0. So r value is 0. So send request to send signal. Request to send signal, sender wants to send it to receiver. So here sender, you got the idea. So this is the sender and this is the receiver. The receiver. So this will send the signal called as request RTS signal, request to send, that it sends a request to sender, sends a request to receiver that I want to send a particular what I meant to say data to you. So after that, it sets a timer. So sender will set a timer. Sender will set the timer.
Actually, she has not created any tasks for it, Anand. This is still treated as only one user story.
So this sender will set a timer. This sender will set a timer, and clear to send within this timer time. Clear to send acknowledgement has to be received from the receiver. So clear to send. It is nothing but clear to send. CTS is nothing but clear to send. This signal should be received. If within the timer's time, say the timer has been set, this timer has been set to be say 60 millisecond, 60 millisecond as the timer. So within 60 millisecond, if you got the idea, within 60 millisecond, if the sending station receives clear to send signal, it will wait for what I meant to say interframe, interframe space, and then send the frame. Set a timer. Again, if acknowledgement is received by the set the timer, so send the first frame and set the timer. If acknowledgement is received before the timeout of the timer, you got the idea, then it is successfully reached. Otherwise, k is equal to k plus 1. You got the idea. If k max limit has reached, that is 15, k is equal to 15. If k is equal to k plus 1 means initially k is equal to 0, k is equal to, now 0 plus 1 means k becomes 1. Now here I am checking is k less than 15, k less than 15. Yes. So wait for back off time, and then again the procedure starts. So this is what is CSMA CA. This is what is CSMA CA, and you can see CSMA CA avoids the collision completely. So maximum number of maximum number of frames will reach the destination. So have you understood CSMA CA and CSMA difference between CSMA CA and CSMA CD? The persistent methods were being followed in CSMA CD, that one persistent method, non-persistent method, and P persistent method. But here, no persistent method is followed. Here, three more concepts are introduced. One is interframe space, second is request to send and clear to send, and no persistence is used. You got the idea? And here, so either in examination, either this will be asked or this will be asked. This is what will be there. So have you understood the concept, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can I stop?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much.